Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toxic Love Archives. This is a place where love isn't always sweet, emotions run deep, and every story leaves a scar behind. If you enjoy BL stories filled with heartbreak, obsession, jealousy, emotional reunions, school drama, and alpha, omega dynamics, then you're in the right place. Today marks the beginning of our very first journey together. A story about two people whose lives changed the moment they met at Ashcroft Academy. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Toxic Love Archives and turn on notifications so you never miss another emotional story. Your support truly means everything. So dim the lights, put on your headphones, and step into the archives of toxic love. The night Thunder Ashcroft lost his mother was the night his entire world turned silent. Rain poured heavily over the empty streets. The city lights blurred behind the dark windows of the black luxury car parked near the roadside. Inside the car sat 17-year-old Thunder Ashcroft, the heir of the powerful Ashcroft family. For the first time in his life, he looked small. His expensive black suit was messy, his hands trembling slightly as tears rolled down his pale face. The funeral had ended hours ago, yet the suffocating feeling in his chest refused to disappear. The house felt too cold, the condolences felt fake, and the silence without his mother felt unbearable. So he escaped. Thunder leaned his head against the car window, staring blankly outside while the rain continued to fall. His red eyes were swollen from crying. Then suddenly, crash! A bag of oranges rolled across the wet road. Thunder blinked slowly and looked up. Under the yellow streetlight stood a boy around his age, struggling for his life with what looked like 10 grocery bags hanging from both arms. The boy had soft, curly black hair that bounced messily around his face, oversized round glasses slipping down his nose every 3 seconds, and the brightest blue eyes Thunder had ever seen. He looked completely ridiculous. One grocery bag slipped. The boy caught it. Another one fell. He tried grabbing that too. Then the bread packet dropped directly into a puddle. Seriously? Even the bread betrayed me today, the boy whispered dramatically. Thunder stared silently. The boy bent down to pick up the bread, but the milk carton slipped from under his arm. Oh, come on. The groceries scattered everywhere again. The boy froze in the middle of the road, staring at the fallen vegetables like he had just lost an argument with the universe itself. And for the first time that night, Thunder laughed. A small laugh escaped his lips before he could stop it. The boy immediately looked toward the car with wide eyes. Thunder quickly covered his mouth, but it was too late. The curly-haired boy narrowed his eyes suspiciously before huffing dramatically. Wow, laughing at a struggling citizen? Villain behavior. Thunder stared at him blankly. The boy continued mumbling while collecting the groceries again. First the bread falls, then the milk escapes, and now some rich guy is bullying me emotionally. Thunder couldn't stop another smile from appearing. The boy finally managed to hold everything somehow and started crossing beside the car. But suddenly, Thunder opened the car door to help him. Thunk! The door accidentally hit the grocery bags. Everything fell again. Silence. The boy slowly looked down at the scattered groceries. Then he looked at Thunder. You know what? He said softly, adjusting his glasses. I think the universe personally hates me. Thunder burst out laughing properly this time. A real laugh. Not the fake polite smiles he gave people. Not the cold expression everyone feared. A genuine laugh. And somehow, the pain in his chest hurt a little less. The boy blinked in surprise after hearing Thunder laugh, but then his expression softened. That was when he noticed the tears in Thunder's eyes, the trembling hands, the sadness hidden behind the expensive clothes. The boy became quiet. Without saying anything, he searched through one surviving grocery bag and pulled out a slightly crushed chocolate bar. He held it toward Thunder. Thunder looked confused. The boy smiled softly. Whatever you're going through, he said gently, it'll pass someday. Good days always come back. For a moment, Thunder simply stared at him. At the strange boy with messy curls, oversized glasses, and blue eyes brighter than the rain-soaked city lights. The boy who looked like a complete disaster, yet somehow felt warmer than everyone Thunder knew. What's your name? Thunder asked quietly. The boy smiled. River. River Lilyvale. And that night, without realizing it, Thunder Ashcroft met the person who would change his entire life. A few months passed after that rainy night. For Thunder Ashcroft, life returned to normal. Or at least, that was what everyone believed. The cold air of the Ashcroft family was back at Ashcroft Academy. Feared. Untouchable. Perfect. No one noticed that sometimes, during quiet moments, Thunder would remember a certain curly-haired boy holding out a crushed chocolate bar beneath the rain. Meanwhile, River Lily Vale was practically vibrating with excitement. "This is insane. This school literally looks richer than my future," River whispered dramatically while staring at the massive gates of Ashcroft Academy. Beside him, Noah Everwind sighed, his best friend. "You've said that 5 times already." "Because look at it," River gasped, adjusting his oversized glasses. "The fountain is bigger than my old apartment building." River's father had recently been transferred for work, which meant River had to move schools. And honestly, he was excited. Nervous too, but mostly excited. New school, new people, new memories. River clutched his bag tightly as he entered the classroom with the teacher. The classroom immediately became noisy. "He's cute. His eyes are so pretty. Wait, is he an Omega? No way." River awkwardly adjusted his glasses while introducing himself. "Hi, I'm River Lily Vale. Please be nice to me." A few students smiled. Some whispered. Some alphas stared too long. River immediately regretted existing. Thankfully, Noah sat beside him after introductions ended. "You survived," Noah whispered dramatically. "Barely." River sighed in relief and started organizing his books. That was when he noticed something strange. The classroom suddenly became quieter. Not fully silent, just tense. Whispers slowly spread across the room. "He's coming. I heard he finally returned. Didn't his mother die a few months ago? They said it was an accident." "No, my parents said Victor Ashcroft, his father, had something to do with it." "Shoo, are you crazy?" River blinked curiously. Who were they talking about? The atmosphere felt heavy so suddenly that even Noah straightened a little. Then, bang, the classroom door slammed open. Silence. Every student immediately went quiet. A tall boy stepped inside wearing the Ashcroft Academy uniform perfectly. His black hair framed his cold expression sharply, and his dark eyes looked completely emotionless. Thunder Ashcroft. The entire classroom froze under his presence. Even the teacher looked nervous. Thunder walked forward silently, hands in his pockets, not sparing anyone a glance. River stared at him for 2 seconds. Then his blue eyes widened behind his huge glasses. He shot up from his seat, so suddenly his chair almost fell backward. "You!" River shouted loudly. The entire class gasped. Thunder stopped walking. River pointed at him in disbelief. "You're the guy who pushed my groceries." Dead silence. One student dropped his pen. Another looked ready to pray for River's soul. Noah slowly covered his own face. "Oh my God," he whispered. "He's going to die on his first day." Thunder stared at River blankly. The whole classroom waited for him to explode. Because nobody spoke to Thunder Ashcroft like that. Nobody. But instead, for the first time in months, Thunder smiled. A small one. Barely noticeable. But real. And the classroom looked even more terrified somehow. That single moment inside the classroom changed everything. Nobody understood how. Not the students. Not the teachers. Not even River himself. But somehow, Thunder Ashcroft, the cold alpha everyone feared, started looking at only one person. River Lily Vale. At first, it was small things. Thunder waiting outside River's classroom. Thunder silently taking River's bag before he could carry it himself. Thunder glaring at any alpha who stood too close to River. And River? River slowly became comfortable around him. He stopped getting scared whenever Thunder suddenly appeared beside him. Stopped flinching at his cold expression. Stopped noticing the whispers around them. Because behind Thunder's icy personality, River saw someone painfully lonely. And Thunder? Thunder found peace only beside River. The boy who talked too much. The boy whose glasses always slipped down his nose. The boy who accidentally made Thunder laugh when the world felt unbearable. Days passed, then weeks. Then suddenly, they were inseparable. The entire Ashcroft Academy started talking about them. The Ashcroft heir is obsessed with River. Thunder skipped a meeting just because River was sick. I heard he punched an alpha for touching River's hand. No way they're not dating. But the rumors only became worse after one particular day. River had fallen asleep in the library while studying late at night. When students entered the next morning, they found Thunder sitting beside him silently, one hand inside River's soft curls while River slept against his shoulder peacefully. After that, nobody doubted it anymore. Thunder Ashcroft belonged to River Lily Vale, and River belonged to Thunder. Their relationship happened naturally after that. No grand confession. No dramatic moment. One night, while walking back home together beneath the winter snow, River simply looked at Thunder and asked softly, "Are we dating?" Thunder stared at him for a second before pulling River closer by the waist. "We've been dating for months," he answered coldly. River blinked. "Oh." Thunder kissed his forehead. "You're slow." River laughed so hard he nearly fell into the snow. And after that night, they became something everyone envied. The perfect couple. They ate together in the cafeteria, while Thunder glared at anyone who stared too long at River. They skipped classes together sometimes. River would secretly drag Thunder into the library, where Thunder pretended to read while actually watching River the entire time. And sometimes, between quiet shelves and hidden corners, Thunder would pull River into his lap, bury his face into River's neck, and kiss him slowly while River whispered nervous complaints about getting caught. "You're impossible," River would whisper breathlessly. Thunder would simply kiss him again. Thunder's possessiveness slowly became dangerous. He hated when River ignored him, hated when other alphas got too close, hated when River smiled at someone for too long. And River? River secretly loved being wanted that much. Because beneath Thunder's obsession was love so intense, it almost scared him sometimes. Months turned into years, and before they realized it, they reached their final year at Ashcroft Academy. Only 1 month remained before graduation. By then, River practically lived with Thunder in the Ashcroft penthouse most days. River's clothes filled Thunder's closet. His books were scattered across Thunder's room. His scent lingered everywhere. It felt natural, like River had always belonged there, like they would stay together forever. At least, that was what River believed. Until the day everything started falling apart. Graduation day was supposed to be the happiest day of Thunder Ashcroft's life. For once, he actually looked forward to something. Not business meetings. Not family expectations. Not becoming the future heir of Ashcroft Corporation. Only River. Because River had promised him. "I'll be there," River said the night before while fixing Thunder's graduation tie badly on purpose. Thunder narrowed his eyes. "You're doing that wrong. I'm adding personality. You're ruining it." River laughed softly before standing on his toes and kissing Thunder gently. "I'll come tomorrow," he whispered. "I promise." And Thunder believed him. Because River never broke promises. The next morning, Ashcroft Academy was overflowing with students, flowers, cameras, and proud families. Thunder stood among the top graduates wearing the Academy's black formal uniform, looking as untouchable as ever. Everyone admired him. Everyone congratulated him. But Thunder searched for only one person. Blue eyes, curly hair, oversized glasses. River. Every few seconds, Thunder glanced toward the entrance. Not here yet. Minutes passed. Then an hour. The ceremony started. Thunder's expression slowly darkened. No one noticed first. "You okay?" he asked carefully. Thunder ignored him. Because River promised. He would come. Even after the graduation ceremony ended, Thunder remained there. Students slowly left with their families. Teachers went home. The academy became quieter and quieter. Still, Thunder waited. The evening sky turned orange, then dark, and for the first time in years, Thunder felt something unfamiliar crawling into his chest. Fear. He immediately drove back to the apartment. Maybe River overslept. Maybe his phone died. Maybe. Click. Thunder opened the apartment door. Silence. The entire apartment felt wrong instantly. Too empty. Too clean. Thunder froze. River's shoes were gone. The books scattered around the living room had disappeared. The oversized hoodies River kept stealing from Thunder were missing too. Even the small cactus River accidentally overwatered every day was gone. No scent. No laughter. No River. Thunder's breathing became uneven. No. He walked toward the bedroom quickly. Empty. Closet. Half empty. Bathroom. Nothing. Then Thunder noticed a small folded note resting on the kitchen counter. His hands trembled as he picked it up. Only a few words were written. "I should go. Please don't try to find me." That was all. No explanation. No goodbye. No reason. Just abandonment. Thunder stared at the letter silently. For a long moment, he didn't move at all. Then suddenly, crash. The glass in his hand shattered against the wall. Thunder's breathing became heavier as panic, anger, and heartbreak consumed him completely. "No," he whispered again. River wouldn't leave him. River couldn't leave him. Not after everything. Not after promising forever. Thunder grabbed his phone immediately. Call failed. Again. Blocked. Thunder's hands started shaking violently. He called Noah. No answer. Again. No answer. River had disappeared overnight. It was as if River Lilyvale had erased himself from Thunder's world completely. And that night, for the first time since losing his mother, Thunder Ashcroft broke completely. 2 years passed after River disappeared. 2 years of silence. 2 years of unanswered questions. 2 years of Thunder Ashcroft pretending he no longer cared. But the truth? Thunder never stopped searching. No matter how many countries he traveled to. No matter how busy business school became. No matter how cold and untouchable he appeared in front of the world. River Lilyvale remained the only wound that never healed. After graduating from one of the top business schools overseas, Thunder officially took over a large part of Ashcroft Corporation. And just like everyone expected, he became terrifyingly successful. At 24, Thunder Ashcroft was already known as the youngest and most ruthless CEO in the industry. Cold, unreadable, impossible to approach. The media adored him. Employees feared him. And nobody dared mention the Omega who disappeared from his life 2 years ago. On the morning of his official return to Korea, the entire company building was in chaos. Is the meeting room prepared? Did the presentation files arrive? Hurry up. The CEO is already on his way. Inside the large conference room on the 22nd floor, several employees nervously prepared documents for an important partnership meeting with a marketing company. At the end of the table stood River Lilyvale. Older now, more mature. His curly dark hair was slightly longer than before, framing his face softly. The oversized glasses were gone, replaced by elegant silver frames that somehow made his blue eyes look even sharper. He looked calmer now, more composed, but still painfully beautiful. River adjusted the files in his hands while trying to ignore his nervousness. Relax, Lily Hartvale whispered beside him. It's just another meeting. River sighed softly. I know, but something felt strange that morning, like his chest was warning him about something before his mind could understand it. 10:30 a.m. The conference room doors opened. Every employee immediately stood up. River turned casually toward the entrance and froze. Thunder Ashcroft entered the room wearing a black tailored suit, his presence instantly swallowing the entire atmosphere whole. Older, sharper, more dangerous than before. The boy River once loved had become a man powerful enough to destroy entire companies with a single decision. The room suddenly felt too small. River's breath caught instantly. His fingers tightened around the files unconsciously. No. For 2 years, River imagined this moment countless times. But reality felt far crueler than imagination, because Thunder looked exactly the same when staring at him. Cold, intense, unreadable. Yet beneath those dark eyes burned something terrifyingly familiar. Everyone in the room bowed respectfully. Good morning, CEO Ashcroft. But Thunder never looked away from River. Not even once. The silence stretched painfully. Lily slowly looked between them in panic. River felt his heartbeat becoming louder and louder. Shock was written all over his face. Meanwhile, Thunder simply walked forward calmly, as if this meeting had already been planned long ago. Because it had. Thunder already knew. He knew River worked in this company, knew River would attend this meeting, knew exactly where to find him. And that was the real reason Thunder chose this company partnership personally, not business. River. Thunder finally stopped directly across from him. Close enough to touch. Close enough to remember everything. River's lips parted slightly, but no words came out. Thunder stared at him silently for a moment before speaking in a calm voice that sent chills through River immediately. Long time no see. River. And suddenly, after 2 years of running away, River realized Thunder Ashcroft had finally found him. The meeting ended far more smoothly than River expected. Or maybe that was what scared him the most. Thunder Ashcroft acted perfectly calm. Too calm. Not once during the meeting did he question River. Not once did he mention the past. Not once did he ask why River disappeared without a word 2 years ago. Instead, Thunder introduced River to the executives with a composed expression. This is River Lilyvale, he said smoothly. We were close friends during our academy days. We also used to live together before life took us in different directions. Close friends. The words stabbed River strangely. But Thunder's face remained unreadable. Professional. Cold. Untouchable. As if the boy who once begged River never to leave no longer existed. And somehow, That hurt River more. After the meeting ended, most employees quickly escaped the suffocating tension lingering in the conference room. Just as River gathered his documents, Thunder finally spoke again. "There's a cafe downstairs." River looked up slowly. "Let's talk." It wasn't a question. An hour later, they sat across from each other in a quiet cafe near the company building. Rain tapped softly against the glass windows while the smell of coffee filled the silence between them. River felt nervous in a way he hadn't experienced for years. Because this was Thunder, the person he once loved enough to destroy himself for. Meanwhile, Thunder simply stirred his coffee calmly. No anger. No accusations. Nothing. "How have you been?" Thunder asked casually. River blinked slightly. "Good. How's work?" "It's fine. You still overwork when you're stressed?" River let out a small, awkward laugh. "Some habits don't change." Thunder hummed quietly. The conversation felt painfully normal. No mention of the apartment. No mention of the letter. No mention of the nights Thunder spent searching for him. It almost felt like they were strangers trying to remember each other politely. And honestly, River hated it. Because Thunder acting cold felt worse than Thunder being angry. For a moment, silence settled between them again. Then Thunder finally looked at him directly. "And your personal life?" he asked calmly. "How is it?" River's fingers tightened slightly around his coffee cup. Something inside his chest hurt suddenly. But he smiled anyway. "I got married." Thunder stopped moving. Just for 1 second. Barely noticeable. But River saw it. The small pause. The silence. "I married my best friend," River continued softly. "It's been a year now. We live together." Silence. The cafe suddenly felt unbearably quiet. Thunder slowly leaned back against his chair. His expression remained completely calm. Too calm. "I see," he said simply. That was all. No reaction. No anger. No heartbreak. Nothing. But beneath the table, Thunder's hand clenched so tightly his knuckles turned white. Because after 2 years of surviving without River, hearing that someone else now belonged beside him felt worse than being abandoned all over again. After River mentioned his marriage, Thunder simply nodded once and lifted his coffee cup calmly. "Congratulations," he said quietly. That was all. No bitterness. No visible pain. No questions. And somehow, that hurt River more than anger ever could. After that day, life continued normally. At least on the surface. Weeks passed. Then months. Thunder focused completely on work after taking over Ashcroft Corporation officially. His days were filled with meetings, contracts, business dinners, and endless responsibilities. Meanwhile, River continued working under the marketing department, handling projects professionally like nothing had happened between them years ago. And strangely, they slowly became comfortable around each other again. Not lovers, not exes, just old friends. Sometimes Thunder would stop beside River's desk in the morning. "Morning, River." "Morning." Sometimes they accidentally ended up working late together. Sometimes Thunder would ask casually, "Have you eaten yet?" And River would quietly follow him to dinner afterward. Nothing romantic happened. No touching. No flirting. No emotional conversations. Just quiet companionship. Thunder would drive River home after work sometimes too. The car rides were peaceful. River would talk about random things while Thunder listened silently like before. And every single time River stepped out of the car, Thunder would only say, "Good night." Nothing more. No lingering looks. No hidden affection. It was as if Thunder had truly moved on. And that thought slowly started destroying River from inside. Because the more normal Thunder acted, the more confused River became. At first, River convinced himself he was happy. Thunder wasn't angry anymore. They could speak comfortably again. Things were peaceful. But then, why did his chest hurt whenever Thunder smiled at someone else? Why did he keep staring at Thunder during meetings? Why did he still remember the way Thunder used to hold him years ago? And most importantly, did Thunder still love him? Or had Thunder finally forgotten everything? River couldn't stop thinking about it. Did Thunder forgive him? Did Thunder hate him secretly? Or worse, did Thunder simply stop caring? That question haunted River every day, especially because Thunder never once mentioned the past. Never asked why River disappeared. Never asked why he left that letter behind. It was as if their love story had been erased completely. And River hated how much that bothered him. One evening after work, River sat quietly inside Thunder's car while rain fell outside the windows softly. Thunder drove calmly with one hand on the steering wheel, his expression unreadable as always. River glanced at him secretly. Older. more mature, still painfully handsome. Thunder noticed him staring immediately. "What?" he asked casually. River quickly looked away. "Nothing." Thunder didn't push further. That was another thing that changed. Before, Thunder would force answers out of him. Before, Thunder would never let River hide his feelings. Now, Thunder respected every boundary River created. And River strangely missed the old Thunder sometimes. When they finally reached River's apartment building, Thunder stopped the car. "Tell your wife I said hello," he said calmly. River froze slightly. His wife. Just hearing Thunder say those words made guilt crawl through his chest. "I will," River answered softly. Thunder nodded once. "Good night, River." Then River stepped out of the car while Thunder drove away without looking back. River stood there silently for a long moment, watching the disappearing car lights. And for the first time since returning, River started realizing something terrifying. He never stopped loving Thunder Ashcroft. Not even after marriage. Not even after 2 years apart. And that realization became even more dangerous after someone unexpected entered their perfectly balanced lives. Her name was Evelyn Hart. A beautiful female Omega. Elegant, intelligent, warm-hearted, and according to company rumors, she was the woman Victor Ashcroft personally wanted Thunder to marry. The next morning, the entire company was in chaos. Whispers filled every hallway. Employees gathered in small groups pretending to work while gossiping shamelessly. "Did you see her? She's beautiful. I heard their families arranged the engagement years ago." No wonder CEO Ashcroft suddenly came back to Korea. River frowned slightly while organizing files at his desk. "What happened?" he asked one employee quietly. The employee immediately looked excited. "You didn't hear? Evelyn Hart returned from overseas today." River's fingers paused. "Evelyn Hart? The female Omega?" The employee nodded eagerly. "They're saying she's CEO Ashcroft's fiancée." Something inside River's chest tightened painfully. "They apparently got engaged recently," another employee added. "Their families are both powerful, so everyone expected it anyway." River forced a small smile. "I see." But the rest of the day felt unbearable afterward. Because suddenly Evelyn Hart was everywhere. Beautiful, elegant, sophisticated. She walked beside Thunder naturally during meetings. She knew his coffee order. She adjusted his tie once while laughing softly. And Thunder didn't stop her. River hated how much that bothered him. During lunch, he accidentally overheard employees talking again. "They look perfect together. They'll definitely become the power couple of the industry. Honestly, she suits him more than anyone." River quietly stood up and left before hearing more. For the first time in years, jealousy consumed him completely. That night, Thunder still offered River a ride home like always. The city lights glowed softly outside the car windows while quiet music played in the background. But unlike usual, the silence between them felt heavy tonight. River sat quietly in the passenger seat, staring outside while trying to calm the strange ache inside his chest. Finally, he spoke softly. "Congratulations on your engagement." Thunder kept his eyes on the road. "Thank you." Simple. Calm. Like it meant nothing. River forced himself to smile slightly. Thunder continued driving before speaking again casually. "I'm sorry I couldn't invite you." River looked at him slowly. It happened suddenly. Just both families meeting together. Thunder's voice remained calm. "But I'll make sure to invite you to the wedding." Then he added quietly, "Come with your wife." That sentence shattered something inside River immediately. His chest tightened painfully. "Okay," River whispered. After that, silence filled the car again. But River couldn't breathe properly anymore. Because suddenly the future became real. Thunder was moving on. Thunder was getting married. Thunder no longer belonged to him. And River realized too late that he wasn't ready for that reality. The car stopped at a red light. River lowered his eyes before speaking quietly. "Thunder." Thunder glanced at him briefly. 2 years ago, I left because." "No." River froze. Thunder's voice remained calm, but firm. "I don't want to talk about the past." The words hit River harder than shouting ever could. Thunder kept driving while speaking softly. "After my mother died, I found you." River slowly looked at him. Thunder's eyes stayed focused on the road ahead. "You made me happy during the worst period of my life." His voice remained steady, yet painfully distant. "All those years beside you, I was genuinely happy." River's throat tightened instantly. "But one day," Thunder continued quietly, "you disappeared exactly the same way my mother did." Silence filled the car. "And after that, I fell apart again." River's eyes slowly filled with tears. But I survived it. Thunder finally looked at him briefly. And now I don't want to go back there anymore. River felt his chest breaking apart completely. I don't want explanations, Thunder said softly. I don't want reasons. Maybe some things are better left behind. His voice became gentler after that. But even if we're not lovers anymore. Thunder gave a small tired smile. You're still someone important to me, River. Let's stay friends. Friends. That single word destroyed River completely. Because after everything, after all the love they shared, Thunder was asking him to become just a friend. River quickly turned his face toward the window. But it was too late. Tears slowly rolled down his cheeks silently. And beside him, Thunder noticed everything. Yet for the first time in their lives, he pretended not to. That night, River returned home emotionally exhausted. The apartment lights were still on when he entered quietly. Inside the dining room sat his wife, Selena Morel, calmly drinking tea as if nothing in the world could disturb her peace. Beautiful, elegant, manipulative. The same woman who destroyed River's life 2 years ago. River loosened his tie slowly before sitting across from her in silence. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then finally, when are we getting divorced? River asked quietly. Selena's hand paused slightly around her teacup. But she didn't answer. River let out a tired laugh. I asked you something. Selena calmly lowered her cup. I still need time. Something inside River snapped instantly. Time, he repeated sharply. For the first time in years, anger exploded across River's face completely. 2 years ago, you went crying to my parents saying I cheated on you. Selena stayed silent. You told them I used you, that I ruined your life. You even lied saying I forced myself on you. River's voice shook violently. You knew exactly what kind of person I was. River slammed his hand against the table. You knew I couldn't handle seeing my parents break down like that. Flashbacks crashed into his mind instantly. Graduation day. River rushing home after Elena Vale's panicked phone call. Selena crying on the living room floor dramatically, while Adrian Vale looked furious and disappointed. I trusted you, River, his father whispered painfully that day. His mother crying uncontrollably. Lucas nearly punching River without even hearing his explanation. And Selena? Standing there pretending to be the victim. River clenched his fists tightly. You said you would kill yourself if I didn't marry you, he whispered bitterly. You manipulated everyone around me because your own family wanted you to marry someone rich while you were secretly trying to run back to your boyfriend overseas. Selena finally looked at him coldly. You agreed to marry me yourself. River laughed in disbelief. What choice did I have? His voice cracked painfully. His voice cracked painfully. My parents were threatening to destroy themselves because they believed I ruined someone's life. River's breathing became heavier. So I left the person I loved, he whispered softly. I left Thunder without a single explanation because of you. For the first time, tears filled his eyes openly. I destroyed everything for you. But Selena showed no guilt at all. Instead, she leaned back calmly. You're being dramatic. River stared at her in disbelief. Dramatic? Yes. Selena crossed her arms casually. You act like I forced you into marriage with a knife. River's expression hardened completely. You destroyed my life. No, Selena replied coldly. I protected mine. Silence filled the room heavily. Then Selena spoke again. My mother wanted me married into a powerful family. My boyfriend had nothing back then. I needed time until he became successful overseas. River closed his eyes bitterly. So you used me? Selena shrugged lightly. You were convenient. Those words shattered the last bit of patience inside River completely. You wasted 2 years of my life, he shouted. And now that your boyfriend is back, what? You suddenly want freedom while I'm supposed to pretend this marriage meant something? Selena narrowed her eyes slightly. You're acting like you still love Thunder Ashcroft. River froze instantly. The silence answered for him. Selena noticed immediately. And suddenly she smiled. A slow, dangerous smile. Oh. River looked away immediately. But Selena already understood everything. You still love him. River's chest tightened painfully. And now you want a divorce because he's back. That's not the point. But it is. Selena stood up slowly. You know what's funny, River? She leaned closer toward him. The moment Thunder finds out why you actually left him, he'll hate you. River's breathing stopped. Because in the end, Selena whispered coldly, you still chose me over him. Tears rolled silently down River's face after that. Because deep down, That was exactly what haunted him every single night. That night, River finally broke. After the argument with Selena, the apartment became suffocating. Every wall reminded him of his mistakes. Every breath felt heavy. So River left. He walked aimlessly through the quiet city streets until he reached a small park near the apartment complex. The night air was cold, but River barely noticed. Several empty alcohol bottles surrounded the bench where he sat alone. His silver-framed glasses rested crookedly on his face while tears and alcohol blurred his vision completely. River rarely drank. But tonight, he wanted his thoughts to disappear. Because no matter how much he tried denying it, Thunder's words earlier kept replaying in his mind endlessly. Let's stay friends. Friends. River laughed bitterly before taking another sip directly from the bottle. Stupid, he whispered shakily. I'm so stupid. His hands trembled badly as he pulled out his phone. There was only one contact his fingers searched for automatically. Thunder. The call connected after a few rings. Meanwhile, across the city, Thunder sat inside an expensive restaurant with Evelyn Hart, discussing engagement arrangements between both families. The moment Thunder saw River's name appear on his phone screen, his expression changed slightly. Evelyn noticed immediately. Thunder answered quietly. River. The moment River heard his voice, his composure shattered completely. Thunder. River's voice was slurred badly. And then suddenly, he started crying. Not softly, not silently, completely broken. Thunder immediately frowned. River. I miss you, River whispered drunkenly. I really miss you. Thunder's grip on the phone tightened instantly. Evelyn watched him carefully from across the table. Thunder lowered his voice immediately. River, where are you? But River only kept crying softly into the phone. Thunder closed his eyes briefly. I'm in the middle of something right now, he said quietly. I'll call you back. Then he disconnected the call. But seconds later, ring. River called again. Thunder declined it. Again. Ring. Again. And again. Thunder's jaw tightened. Meanwhile, River sat drunkenly near the park, staring blankly at his phone while tears rolled endlessly down his cheeks. Why won't you answer? He whispered brokenly. Finally, River shakily stood up and wandered toward an old abandoned building nearby. He slowly climbed the stairs all the way to the rooftop, carrying another bottle with him. The city lights looked blurry from above. River sat dangerously close to the edge. Then, without thinking much, he took a photo. The picture showed his legs hanging near the rooftop edge with multiple alcohol bottles scattered around him. And he sent it to Thunder. Inside the restaurant, Thunder's phone vibrated again. He looked down casually at first, then froze completely. The color immediately disappeared from his face, because River looked dangerously drunk, and the rooftop edge beneath him made Thunder's heartbeat stop entirely. Thunder stood up, so suddenly the chair scraped loudly against the floor. Evelyn looked startled. Thunder. But Thunder was already grabbing his coat. We'll talk later. His voice sounded colder than usual now. Then, without waiting for a response, he rushed out of the restaurant immediately. For the first time in years, fear consumed Thunder Ashcroft completely again. Because deep down, he knew River only called him like this when he was truly falling apart. Thunder drove faster than he ever had before. His mind was a complete mess. The image River sent kept replaying in his head over and over again. The rooftop edge, the alcohol bottles, River looking completely broken. Fear gripped his chest so tightly he could barely breathe. By the time Thunder reached the abandoned building, he rushed upstairs without even waiting for the elevator. 1 floor, 2 floors, 3. Finally, bang! Thunder pushed the rooftop door open violently. Cold wind hit his face immediately. And there he was. River sat near the edge of the rooftop with his knees pulled close to his chest, tears staining his face while empty bottles surrounded him carelessly. For one terrifying second, Thunder imagined River disappearing from that edge forever. River! Thunder immediately rushed toward him and grabbed his arm harshly, pulling him away from the ledge. River looked up slowly with blurry, tear-filled eyes. The moment he recognized Thunder, he completely fell apart. Thunder! River suddenly grabbed Thunder tightly and buried his face against his chest, crying uncontrollably. I miss you, he sobbed brokenly. I miss you so much. Thunder froze instantly. River's entire body trembled violently against him. I made a mistake, River cried drunkenly. You don't want me anymore. I know you don't. Thunder's jaw tightened painfully. River, stop talking nonsense. I don't want this life anymore, River whispered weakly. I'm tired. Thunder immediately held his shoulders firmly. River. His voice became colder now. You have a wife waiting for you at home. The moment those words left Thunder's mouth, River suddenly laughed bitterly through tears. Then he started crying even harder. You don't know anything. Thunder frowned slightly. River grabbed Thunder's coat desperately. You don't know what happened, he shouted emotionally. You don't know what was going on. Thunder stared at him silently. For years, he imagined hearing an explanation from River. But now that the moment had finally arrived, he suddenly felt afraid to hear it. River's breathing became uneven from crying too much. How could I tell you? He whispered shakily. How could I come to you after all that happened? Thunder remained silent. River wiped his tears angrily. I thought you'd never believe me. His voice cracked painfully. If I told you Selena lied, if I told you she made everything up. Thunder's expression slowly changed. River laughed bitterly again. She told my parents I cheated on her, that I ruined her life, that I forced her. Thunder's eyes darkened instantly. River's shoulders trembled violently. My mother was crying. My father looked disgusted with me. River lowered his head completely. I could survive my family hating me. His voice became smaller after that. But not you. Thunder froze. River slowly looked up at him with tear-filled blue eyes. If you looked at me like I was disgusting too. A broken smile appeared on River's lips. I think I really would have died. Thunder's heartbeat became painfully heavy. So I ran away. River finally admitted it aloud after 2 years. I thought if I disappeared first, at least you wouldn't have to see how pathetic I became. Thunder stared at him silently, unable to speak. River cried openly now. My parents were threatening to ruin themselves because they believed Selena. His breathing shook badly. So I agreed to marry her. Thunder slowly clenched his fists. Not because I loved her. River's tears fell harder. But because I wanted to protect everyone. Then finally, River whispered the truth he buried for years. I never stopped loving you, Thunder. Silence. Only the sound of wind and River's broken sobs filled the rooftop. Thunder stood there frozen completely. Because after 2 years of convincing himself to move on, one sentence from River destroyed every wall he built around his heart. The rooftop remained silent for a long time after River confessed everything. Cold wind brushed past them softly while River sat on the ground exhausted from crying too much. Thunder stood nearby, staring at the city lights quietly, trying to process the truth he waited 2 years to hear. Meanwhile, River wiped his swollen eyes weakly before speaking again. That day, Thunder slowly looked toward him. On your graduation day, River's voice trembled. I was really coming. Thunder's chest tightened immediately. River gave a broken laugh. I even bought flowers for you. Flashbacks filled his mind instantly. River standing inside a flower shop, nervously choosing flowers. River smiling softly while imagining Thunder's face after graduation. River rehearsing congratulations in his head while walking toward the academy. Then suddenly, ring. River's expression darkened remembering that call. It was my mom. His hands slowly trembled again. She was crying so badly. Thunder stayed silent. River lowered his head. She told me Selena came to our house. His breathing became uneven. She told my parents I ruined her life, that I abandoned her after using her. Thunder's jaw clenched tightly. River continued weakly. My father got furious. My mother kept crying and saying if I didn't come home immediately, everything would be over. Thunder's eyes darkened slowly. River laughed bitterly. They even threatened suicide. The word alone made Thunder freeze slightly. At that moment, I got scared. River whispered painfully. Everything happened so suddenly. I didn't know what to do. River's voice cracked again. So I thought, maybe if I went home first, I could solve everything quickly and come back to you afterward. Thunder closed his eyes briefly. River looked down at his shaking hands. That's why I wrote the letter. Silence. River smiled sadly. I wanted to keep you away from the situation for some time. Thunder finally understood now. River never planned to leave forever. He only wanted to protect Thunder from getting dragged into the mess. But life never gave River a chance to return. When I reached home, River whispered, everything became worse. He slowly wiped another tear away. Selena kept crying in front of everyone. My parents believed every word she said. River laughed weakly. They kept saying I had to take responsibility. Thunder's fists clenched harder. I tried refusing at first. River's breathing became shaky again. But my parents completely broke down. He lowered his eyes painfully. I couldn't watch them like that anymore. Thunder stared at River silently. So I got married. The confession sounded emptier than sad now. River quickly continued afterward. But we were never really husband and wife. Thunder looked at him immediately. River shook his head weakly. We stayed in the same house, but that's all. His voice became bitter. I lived my life separately. She lived hers. Then River laughed softly in disbelief. And now her boyfriend came back from overseas. Thunder's eyes narrowed slightly. She wants to go back to him, River whispered. But the moment I asked for divorce after seeing you again, she refused. River finally looked up at Thunder fully. Completely vulnerable. Completely exhausted. I don't know what to do anymore. Then suddenly River started crying again quietly. Not loudly this time. Just broken. Thunder stared at him for a long moment. 2 years of anger. 2 years of heartbreak. 2 years of abandonment. And yet, seeing River cry still destroyed him instantly. Thunder slowly walked closer before crouching in front of him. Then gently, he wiped River's tears away with his thumb. Come with me. River blinked slowly. Thunder's expression softened for the first time that night. I'll take you home. Half an hour later, River found himself standing inside Thunder's apartment again. The same apartment he once shared with him years ago. Only now it felt quieter. Lonelier. Thunder handed him a glass of water before sitting across from him calmly. River nervously held the glass with both hands. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Thunder finally broke the silence. Stay here for a few days. River looked up immediately. Thunder leaned back tiredly. You're in no condition to go back tonight. But I'll handle everything. River froze slightly. Thunder's eyes met his directly. And for the first time since they reunited, River saw something familiar in them again. Protection. Thunder sighed quietly before speaking one last time. Don't worry anymore, River. His voice became softer after that. I know what to do now. That same night, after River finally fell asleep on the couch from emotional exhaustion, Thunder stood alone near the apartment window overlooking the city lights. His expression was cold again. Dangerously cold. The softness he showed River disappeared completely the moment he remembered everything River suffered alone for 2 years. Thunder slowly picked up his phone and called his secretary immediately. The call connected within seconds. Yes, sir. Thunder's eyes darkened. I want every detail on Selena Morel. His secretary immediately became serious. And the man she was involved with overseas, Thunder continued calmly. Find out which company he's working for. Yes, sir. Thunder's voice became even colder after that. I want that company destroyed. Silence filled the line for a second. The secretary already understood. Understood. Thunder walked toward the dark window slowly. Whatever business deal he's involved in, ruin it. His reflection looked terrifyingly emotionless against the glass. If he's planning to settle in Korea, make sure he leaves. Yes, CEO Ashcroft. Thunder's jaw tightened. And one more thing. Yes. I want Selena Morel begging River for a divorce herself. The call ended shortly afterward. And from that moment on, Thunder Ashcroft started destroying Selena's carefully built life piece by piece. Within weeks, chaos began surrounding Selena's boyfriend unexpectedly. Business partnerships collapsed suddenly. Investors backed out mysteriously. Overseas contracts disappeared overnight. Rumors spread rapidly that his company was involved in illegal financial activities. Panic consumed him completely. Finally, unable to handle the pressure anymore, he decided to return overseas immediately to protect what remained of his career. And just like Thunder planned, he abandoned Selena without hesitation. Meanwhile, Selena's own situation became worse too. Her family business suddenly started facing investigation issues. Their stock prices dropped. Important connections disappeared overnight. For the first time in her life, Selena realized someone far more powerful than her was targeting everything she cared about. And there was only one person capable of doing this. Thunder Ashcroft, the same man she once thought River chose to abandon. A week later, Selena finally appeared at River's office looking completely exhausted. Her makeup couldn't even hide the stress on her face anymore. River looked shocked seeing her there. What happened? He asked quietly. Selena clenched the divorce papers tightly in her hands before throwing them onto his desk. Sign it. River froze. Selena laughed bitterly. Congratulations. You finally got what you wanted. River slowly looked at the divorce papers in disbelief. After 2 years, freedom was suddenly placed in front of him. Before River could speak again, Another voice interrupted coldly from behind. I think you owe him an apology first. Selena's expression stiffened immediately. Thunder Ashcroft entered the office calmly, wearing a black suit, his presence instantly swallowing the entire room. River looked surprised. Meanwhile, Selena's face slowly paled. Thunder stopped beside River naturally before placing one hand on the back of River's chair possessively. The gesture alone made Selena understand everything. Thunder's eyes remained fixed on her coldly. You manipulated him. Selena looked away immediately. You lied to his family. Silence. You destroyed his life because you were selfish. River quietly lowered his eyes. But Thunder continued calmly. And even after all that, River still protected your dignity instead of exposing you. Selena clenched her fists tightly. Thunder's voice became sharper after that. You should be grateful he's kinder than I am. The room became suffocatingly silent. Then Thunder looked down at River softly. Sign it. River slowly picked up the pen with trembling hands. And after 2 years of pain, River Lily Vale finally signed the divorce papers. The moment it was done, Selena stared at them silently before laughing bitterly. You really got him back in the end. Thunder looked at her without emotion. No. He gently intertwined his fingers with River's in front of her. He was always mine. River's breath caught instantly. Selena stared at them for a long moment before finally walking away silently. And for the first time in years, the weight crushing River's chest finally began disappearing. Because after everything they lost, Thunder Ashcroft still chose him again. After River officially signed the divorce papers, everything slowly started falling back into place. For the first time in years, River could breathe again. And surprisingly, the next person who brought him peace was Evelyn Hart. A week after the divorce, Thunder invited Evelyn to a quiet restaurant to finally talk honestly. No business, no family pressure, no pretending, just truth. Evelyn listened silently while Thunder explained everything from the beginning. River, their past, the misunderstanding, the years they lost. For a long moment after hearing everything, Evelyn simply stared at her untouched coffee before laughing softly. So that's why? She whispered. Thunder looked at her quietly. Evelyn smiled sadly. No matter how hard I tried, your eyes never looked at me the way they looked at him. Thunder lowered his eyes briefly. I'm sorry. And for the first time since their engagement began, Thunder sounded genuinely apologetic. Evelyn sighed softly before leaning back. You don't need to apologize. Thunder looked up slightly. I agreed to this engagement for family reasons too. Then she smiled gently. But you should go to the person you actually love. The tension between them finally disappeared after that. No hatred, no drama, just mutual understanding. And with that, Thunder Ashcroft officially ended his engagement with Evelyn Hart peacefully. Meanwhile, River still couldn't fully believe everything was real. Sometimes he would wake up inside Thunder's apartment and panic, thinking it was all temporary. But Thunder stayed beside him every single time, patiently, quietly, like he was rebuilding River piece by piece. One evening, Thunder suddenly asked River to follow him somewhere. River looked confused the entire drive. Where are we going? You talk too much, Thunder replied calmly. River pouted immediately. Rude. An hour later, Thunder stopped the car near a familiar place. River slowly stepped out and froze completely. It was the exact same street where they first met years ago. The same old road. The same yellow streetlight. Even the small grocery store nearby still existed. River's eyes widened slowly. Thunder. Before he could speak further, Thunder walked toward him quietly. For once, Thunder Ashcroft looked nervous. River stared at him in shock. Because the man who could face powerful investors and destroy companies without fear was suddenly avoiding eye contact. Thunder sighed softly before pulling something from his coat pocket. A small crushed chocolate bar. River immediately started tearing up. Seriously? River laughed weakly through tears. You kept this memory for years. Thunder looked at him calmly. You gave me one when my world was falling apart. River's chest tightened painfully. Thunder stepped closer slowly. And now I'm giving one back. Then finally, Thunder Ashcroft lowered himself onto one knee. River completely froze. The city lights reflected softly around them, while cold night wind brushed past silently. Thunder looked up at River with eyes filled with emotions he hid for years. River Lily Vale, he said quietly. I spent 2 years trying to forget you. River's tears slowly fell. I failed. Thunder gave a small, helpless smile. Because no matter how much time passed, My heart still waited for you. River covered his mouth while crying silently. Thunder's voice softened after that. So this time, he held River's trembling hand gently. Don't leave me again. River completely broke down crying. I'm sorry, he whispered repeatedly. I'm so sorry, Thunder. Thunder immediately stood up and pulled River into his arms tightly. River cried against his chest like all the pain he carried for years was finally escaping. I thought I lost you forever, River whispered shakily. Thunder kissed River's forehead gently. You're not getting rid of me that easily. River laughed weakly through tears. Then finally, Thunder kissed him. Slowly, carefully, like he was afraid River would disappear again if he held him too tightly. And River kissed him back immediately, this time without fear, without guilt, without running away. Just love. Pure and desperate love they buried for far too long. Months later, Ashcroft Academy held an alumni event. And naturally, Thunder Ashcroft arrived with River beside him. The moment former students saw them together again, chaos exploded instantly. No way. They got back together? After all these years? I knew it. Meanwhile, River stood there blushing, while Thunder calmly wrapped one arm around his waist possessively in front of everyone. Blaze Sterling nearly choked laughing. So the emotional disaster couple reunited finally. River glared at him immediately. Shut up. Thunder looked completely unbothered. Because for the first time in years, River was beside him again openly. And this time, Thunder had no intention of letting him go ever again. As the night ended, River quietly looked toward Thunder beneath the glowing academy lights. Do you regret meeting me that night? He asked softly. Thunder stared at him for a moment before answering calmly. The best thing that ever happened to me was a messy Omega dropping groceries in the rain. River immediately laughed through embarrassment. You seriously never forgot that? Thunder smirked slightly. Never. And beneath the same sky where their story once began. River Lilyvale and Thunder Ashcroft finally found their way back to each other again. Not as broken lovers, not as strangers, but as home.